Welcome to Elevate with Carolina, where we talk about life, healing, and everything in between. Chapter 6, Loving from a Full Cup. We can only love others as much as we love ourselves. Not because we don't care deeply, but because the way we give love is shaped by what we believe about our own worth. When self-love is missing, love becomes something we search for rather than something we share. Please don't read this as an attack or a call out, because it isn't. It's an observation from lived experience in my own life. Even in the story I shared about the day my daughter was born, I had not yet learned how to fill my own cup. Motherhood entered my experience like a flood of love, expansive and overwhelming, a love that felt endless and capable of filling infinite cups. And for a while, it did. The trap of many parents, however, comes when we place the responsibility for filling us inside that relationship. When our sense of meaning, connection, and emotional fulfillment becomes overly dependent on our children, imbalance quietly takes root. This is where codependency can begin, even when it is wrapped in devotion and sacrifice, especially when it's wrapped in devotion and sacrifice. I first became aware of this when I separated from my ex-husband and felt the absence that not having my daughter 50% of the time created in my life. The quiet was loud. The gap was undeniable. Later, heartbreaks throughout the last 15 years of dating brought me back to the same place, again and again. Empty. Different relationships, same ending. It wasn't until I learned how to love myself and intentionally meet my own needs for safety, joy, and connection that something shifted. I stopped asking one relationship to be everything. I found grounding in community, nourishment in friendships, and excitement in my creative work. Movement, purpose, contribution, and connection became woven into many areas of my life rather than concentrated in one place. That was the moment motherhood changed too. Love became clearer, freer, less attached to fear or absence. When our cups are full, we do not cling, we do not grasp, we do not demand that love stay in one form to feel whole. We allow love to move. Many of us learn how to give love long before we know how to feel it within ourselves. We offer time, attention, care, gifts, acts of service, loyalty, and emotional presence, not out of abundance, but out of hope. Hope that if we give enough, we will belong. Hope that if we are generous, attentive, or accommodating enough, we will finally feel chosen and secure in a relationship. On the surface, this kind of giving can look selfless, devoted, even noble. Beneath it, however, there is often a quieter motivation at play. We're not only loving, we're seeking confirmation. We're trying to meet a need we have not yet learned how to meet within ourselves. This is not a flaw. It is a survival strategy shaped by unmet needs and learned patterns. At a fundamental level, human beings are wired with basic emotional needs. While different frameworks describe them differently, they all point to the same truth. Before we can grow and contribute freely, we must feel safe, connected, and valued. When self-love is lacking, the nervous system prioritizes certainty and connection above all else. Safety and belonging take precedence, and everything else falls in line behind them. This is where love quietly shifts from being an expression of abundance to becoming a way to secure stability. We attach more tightly, we overextend, we stay longer than we should. We tolerate what drains us because the fear of losing connection feels greater than the cost of losing ourselves. We may call it loyalty or devotion, but often it is rooted in the belief that without the relationship, we will lose access to love altogether. This is what it means to love from an empty cup. An empty cup does not mean there's no love present. It means the source of love has been placed outside of ourselves. Another person, a role, or a relationship becomes responsible for fulfilling our needs for certainty, excitement, and connection. And when that happens, love becomes fragile and conditional. Moreover, it becomes something we fear losing, because without it, we feel unanchored. Loving from a full cup is different. When you begin to meet your own needs for safety, connection, and self-worth, something fundamental shifts. Love no longer feels like something you must earn, secure, or negotiate. It becomes something you already live inside of. Relationships stop being the source of love and become the place where love is shared. From this place, giving becomes clean. You can offer your time without resentment and be generous without keeping score. Showing up fully without abandoning yourself becomes attainable. You can walk away without losing your sense of worth. Love stops being a transaction and becomes a flow. This is where growth and contribution finally come online. When our basic needs are met internally, we naturally move beyond ourselves. We want to create, serve, and give, not to be filled, but because something within us is already full and wants to move outward. This is the difference between giving to belong and giving because you already belong to yourself. When love flows from within, it becomes an ever-flowing fountain rather than a limited resource. Others may drink from it, but they are not responsible for refilling it. That responsibility belongs to you. And paradoxically, this is what makes love more spacious, more sustainable, and freer. Loving from a full cup does not make you less loving. It makes your love more honest. It allows you to choose relationships from alignment rather than fear, from desire rather than deficiency. It frees you to love deeply without losing yourself, to give generously without depletion, and to receive without guilt. This is self-love in action. Journal prompts. 1. Where in my life am I giving in order to feel chosen, needed, or secure? List one relationship or situation where your giving feels tied to fear of loss rather than genuine overflow. Prompt 2. Which needs am I asking this relationship or dynamic to meet for me? Consider needs like safety, connection, validation, excitement, or belonging. How might you begin meeting one of these needs for yourself instead? Prompt 3. What am I giving to others right now that I'm not giving to myself? Do you allow others to rest while you give yourself no breaks? How about mistakes? Do you show others a level of understanding you do not give to yourself? Expand on the idea of what you could be doing to fill your own cup. Chapter 7 is called Integrating Self-Love into Everyday Life. We'll see you there. For those ready to take the first step on their self-love journey, check out the free Self-Love Journey Workbook. 7 actionable steps with journal prompts to restore your heart, build confidence, get unstuck, and unlock your greatest potential. CarolinaBucker.com.